Well, hello there. Can't even say it right. There's this. I don't know if you guys know this TikTok. This really chill guy. He lives in like a cedar swamp. It's like ASMR shit. You know, he's always like at the store. He's always like, "Well, hello there." I can't say it right. Well, hello there. I don't know how he says it. Anyway, hey guys. This is me with update for the trades that I've had. I've been very bad about posting the updates, and I apologize in advance for that. But a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks since I've made these trades, and I'll just basically try to have a concise video out there to show you guys what I've done since then and the updates to the trades I've had. So not financial advice as usual. I'm a dirty day trader, which is essentially an advanced form of gambling with some extra steps, but I think it's great. I think it's super fun. You learn a lot, and that's why I'm doing it, and so that's why I think you should do it as well. But if you're a long-term holder, I think getting right now into cryptocurrencies, or any time actually in the last 10 years for that matter, via dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and Ethereum, those two coins, I think that's a great thing to do. And just long-term holding is enough. You basically need to follow. You don't need to do any of this stuff. This is just all degeneracy piled on top to have an extra bit of fun. So yeah, let's get started. Oh yeah, once again, this is not financial advice. Not financial advice. Okay, so let's get started. We took a trade at Bitcoin, and I'm gonna open up my older videos here. This one. We'll drop there. So 45.3k was the level we actually took a trade at. So I can draw it out on the line over here. 45.3 is approximately right here. This level right here. And so actually, I had set my stop loss to 38, I believe, 38.9k, which wasn't hit. So the good news is, if you were in this trade, you followed my stop loss strategy, you are massively in the green right now, because we've been pumping up to the targets I've been looking towards, which is 58k. So congrats on that. But this is actually not what I ended up going through and following, which is why I think I should probably start making videos a little more consistently. So this is what happened. I got in 45.3, I was pretty happy, and then I saw this fat red candle right here, and I was like, uh-oh. Based on the previous action of this previous candle, and knowing that we got a fat dump right here, the chances of us breaking these lows and going even lower, to me, is above 90%. It's very, very likely. And you'll see these situations when you become an active trader for a long time, where you see a massive dump followed by a consolidation period or bear flagging action or even like an upwards trend, and then you see another candle just smack it right down towards the end of the support. And usually what ends up happening is you start breaking that support and going under. Especially with Bitcoin, because it has a lot of alpha and it's not really controlled or manipulated by the Fed by endless money printing. So when it goes down, it actually goes down pretty significantly. So essentially what happens is I saw this candle, I said, "Ruh-oh," and I got out of my active trade position all the way. And I took approximately a 1.5% loss, so it's pretty negligible. But it was definitely worth it, because what I actually ended up doing is getting back in at 40,940, which is this level right here. So I bought in right here, I bought in again right here, I bought in again right here, and I bought in again right here. So I bought all of them pretty much, except like the first one or two, because I really thought this was a good, basically, floor, essentially. After I saw this candle, I wanted to wait a couple of hours to see how much of a drop we would get, and we started getting there. And so I started buying in at exactly this price point level. So basically all my active positions, which is approximately around $6,000 to, I think it's $6,500, is all taken from here. So pretty happy with that trade, because obviously we were up massively since then. And I just want to say that I want to give myself a call out for my stop loss, which was configured at 38.9, and we actually did not get there. We got to 39.5, which is great news, because I followed the stop loss according to the same strategy, where we saw us falter a little bit below 30k last time and just barely hit to 2900 and go into the 2800 range as well. And this is kind of what I thought would happen this time. It's like, we're going to break the multiplier of 10. Back over here it was 30. We dumped to 29. I thought, hey, worst case scenario, we dump to 40. We get to a little bit into the 39 range, but that's it. We hold over there and we don't go into 38. So I just want to, give myself a pat on the back for that stop loss because I think it worked out really well. So yeah, that was basically the trading stuff I did in between posting updates, which I definitely do apologize for. Next time I get out of my trade and I try to get back in again, I will post these updates for sure. So yeah, that was the update to Bitcoin, and in the original video, I listed my target for the trade from 45, that we're looking for profits at approximately 58, and look how close we are. I mean, look how close we are. It's crazy. So we hit approximately 37.8 on Coinbase. Sorry, not 37, 57. 57.8 on Coinbase, which is really, really close. So I actually have not sold my position yet. I am waiting to see some sort of capitulation. And this is basically one of the updates I want to give in this video, is I was trying to get a tradable active trade in here with a target of 58, and right now I am saying let's keep it in check. Let's kind of basically take a pause to see how things are going, because normally what I would do is as soon as we hit 58, which we haven't done yet, which is why I'm still holding on to this position, but as soon as we hit 58, I would take profits, and I would say, okay, I'm back to being neutral, let's look for the drop. Right now, given the price action that's happening, given the action that's going on with the rest of the market, given what's happening with a bunch of other things that I'll talk about later in the video, mainly to do with the stock market and Evergrande from China, I'm not too comfortable at taking profits at 58. And now this might be a fallacy of me thinking, hey, I've gotten to 58, why can't I get a little bit more? But what I do think is going to happen is we're going to get some sort of blow off top, where we're going to go to 58, and then we're just going to basically pump decently amount into the 59 range, get really close to 60. I don't think we're going to break 60. I really don't. I think when we get to this range, I'm going to look for the capitulation candle. The capitulation candle, for those of you who don't know, it looks a little bit something like this. So if you've been in Bitcoin over the last just month and a half, you've seen this decent capitulation candle, this fat red stick right here. So I'm going to look for that capitulation candle. It's not going to be as big, but when I see it, and I'm going to know it's there, I will basically try to make an update as soon as possible and let you guys know at that time if I'm out or if I'm completely out, how much I'm still in and what are the targets I'm looking for at that point. But right now I'm thinking just hold on tight. We're really in the profits, and we can try to basically take this position up a little bit longer, because I do think at this point, especially with the way the long-term divergences are playing out, this is becoming a little bit harder to actively game. If you're a long-term investor, you don't care about any of this sort of stuff anyway, so this is probably music to your ears. But yeah, even for active traders, like what I'm looking at right now is these divergences on the daily time frame, and they're getting very close to taking out the previous divergences, which is what I was expecting. In my last video, I basically said we're going to curl up around down over here, which is exactly what happened. And I said I'm looking for these divergences to take out the previous highs. The problem is I didn't expect us to get here so soon, and we are, we're getting there. So when we break these divergences, we will have cemented a very, very, very strong bullish case. And I think it'll be very hard to game any kind of thing to the downside. So I'm basically kind of alleviating a little bit of my risk and saying, like, hey, let's just wait a little bit longer to see what sort of kind of trades, what sort of gains we can get from this. And basically, I'll give you guys an update as things progress. I do want to give an update on the stop loss. The stop loss becomes pretty easy on this trade now. Let me just put it right here. Oops. Where is it? Oh. I don't know what this is. Did I pick a horizontal line? Oops. I'm going to brain fart today. There it is. So I have it approximately at 52,995. Basically, anything you want that's a hair below 53. So 52.8, 52.6, they're both good. Actually, let me shift this down to 52.8. I think that's a little bit better to allow for a little bit more down wick size. Basically, we should not go under this level. I mean, for what it's worth, if we do, I think the biggest downside we see is to 49, 48. I just don't see that happening. So basically, the stop loss is my way of saying, you know, these active trades that we've taken in the past over here, we can get out right here. And I'll keep scaling stop loss up as we continue upwards. But for now, that's essentially what I'm looking for. Divergences on the hourly and 4-hour charts, they're starting to look decent for like a decent correction. But I'm just not comfortable yet, man. Like I think there's so much pent up demand coming into Bitcoin, and there's a lot of supply shocks coming into Bitcoin. So right now, let's just keep holding on, and let's just see what the price action starts to do when we start getting closer to 60. I think that's the key thing that we want to monitor, is when we get to 60, one or two things can happen. Bam! Rejection. You know, we get to 59.5 and just get rejected, smack back down to 54. That happens, then okay, we know that's the top for at least a while. Or we can just break past 60 and start just, pumping really past 64, because, that's the all-time high. The supply gets really low past this range, past the 62, 63 range. Oh man, no one wants to sell their Bitcoin. That's also another thing you have to worry about. So that's that with Bitcoin. I'm glad that those who decided to follow my trading advice, made some profits here. So happy for y'all. But I would be even happier for the boys who decided to take my SHIB trade, which is the one I'm really excited to talk about today, and which is the one I really want to give an update for. So we took it at 0.009, which is all the way down here in my last video a couple of weeks ago. And man, oh man, was it annoying to hold over the last month or so, when we were down to approximately 35%, I think was the worst we had. 30 to 35% we were down. Which is, I grinded my teeth and held on, because this was a YOLO trade. And you always want to have a YOLO perspective on YOLO trades, man. If it's not running against you, forget it. Leave it and let it go, because it's a YOLO trade. The chance it just comes back to life and goes where you want it to go, I mean, it's a good chance. Especially with SHIB, because I had pointed out, at this price range, we have been consolidating for so long. There is such a good support here that we should bounce off of it. And even though my exact prediction was wrong, we didn't bounce off of it initially, we have bounced off of it now. And I mean, look at these gains, man. This is great. We're up approximately, if you're still holding, we're up approximately 320% or so. This is amazing. So yeah, congrats to anyone who took that trade. I certainly did make a decent chunk of change. But yeah, I just want to give an update of what happened, because once again, I did a dirty trading without telling you guys, which I apologize for. So, I saw this dirty, nasty candle right here, and I was like, okay, this looks like some sort of initial capitulation candle. So, I knew that after this candle, we would see a little bit downside, and a little bit of consolidation, and we would definitely jump up. We would jump back up these prior lows. So basically, when this happened, I took and we hit, what was it? So we bounced off this level, and I sold a lot at 0.0003, this line right here approximately. So I sold 50% of my SHIB at this level. So right now I'm holding on to 50% of my trade. And so we got back to this level, I sold, and sure enough, we dumped, Didn't buy back more in. I just wanted to see what would happen. Kind of waiting to see the consolidation pattern. And this is the general theme of when you have a huge run-up like this, right? Is the initial capitulation, or the initial kind of downward dump, sorry, I shouldn't even call it a capitulation, because it's really not. But the initial downward dump is never the one that really starts the whole saga. But what I mean by that is, after the huge run up, the initial downward dump kind of sets a floor, and usually prices consolidate off of these and push higher, and you can see this really, really clearly with Doge. I mean, it's uncanny. You see this all the time with Doge, where we had this is the 4-hour chart. Let me pull up the daily chart here. You can see the initial dump, bam, pop, dump, pop, dump, pop, dump, pop, until we finally, get all the way back up to here. So definitely, I thought the chances of, this not being a bottom or this not being the top over here is decent, which is why I'm still sorry, not the top over here is decent, which is why I'm still 50% in this trade, and this is why I want to speak about it. So for those of you that have held on, congratulations. You know, definitely exit some of the position if you haven't. And I mean, a 300% gain is nuts, man. Hedge funds don't get 3% in a year, or even multiple years. I mean, that's just fantastic. You know, it's very easy to think that this is going to go up another 10x, but you know, I definitely don't think this is the case. And I think this is the general fallacy that people are going to fall into, because what I think is these people are here. These guys, they're suckers. These guys are buying it right now, looking for it, you know, like a pump up here. And while I do think we're going to get it, I do think that, you know, a lot of these people are going to get burnt out. So what I think is going to happen from here now on is we're going to push past these initial highs. So we're looking at this level right here. I think we're just push right past it into the 38, 39 range. I have complete take profits, so the rest of my lot at 0.0004. So that is where I'm going to take the rest of my profits right here. Will we get there? I think it's a 50-50 shot. I think it's more likely that we'll get there than for us to drop considerably from this level. But I am a little pussy. So now that I've seen us consolidate past this price range, and this is exactly why I chose to do this video right now, is because I have the rest of my stop loss configured at 0.003 as well. If we go past this below this level again, I'm going to sell the rest of my SHIB. Like, I don't care. I'm done holding. I've had a great journey with SHIB, and I think, you know, getting out with 300% profit is great, but it's definitely not, you know, for my blood anymore. And I do want to take those profits as soon as I can. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. But my general prediction from here on out is, because, like I said, the first dump is never usually the one that, you know, ends the cycle. It's the one that starts to end the cycle. Is that we're going to see another pump past these highs, right into this price range. As soon as we get past these highs, I think we're going to see a lot of downward pressure. So what I'm going to start to do, and what everyone who's still holding SHIB should start to do, is start to scale into these stop losses and scale them upwards, essentially, as we start going up in prices. And that's a relatively complex topic if you're not you know, an active trader, but I do think that scaling them up appropriately is definitely the way to go here. But yeah, I have it set at 0.003. So I took profits, 50% profits, when we smacked down below there and we jumped back over here all the way on the 7th. And now I'm saying, now that we've kind of consolidated under this level and we've pushed past it, we've had this one other consolidation, pushed past it again, we really shouldn't be breaking below this price level. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we go down here, hit 29, whatever, and then we shoot all the way back up to here. But are you really going to be splitting hairs over, you know, a call made all the way down here? Like, I think it's really, you know, asking for a lot. And I think, you know, a lot of people are falling into the fallacy, like this would be another Doge. Like, Doge, like, people are saying, like, let me pull it up from one that has more history. People are saying, like, this is like the first stage of Doge, right? They're saying, like, oh, we're over here. We're going to pump up, consolidate even more, and then keep pumping. And then keep pumping after that. I definitely don't think so. For what it's worth, I think Doge is a once... I'm not going to say once in a lifetime. I think we're going to see this happen with another couple of cryptocurrencies a couple of years down the road. But at least for a couple of years, I don't think any crypto is going to pop and explode in a bubble, kind of like Doge did. So I think Doge was a very unique crypto, at least for the time being. And I think people are falling to the fallacy that SHIB is going to do the same thing. I don't think so. I think SHIB's cycle is going to be a lot less longer. I think it's going to be a lot more short-lived. And I do think we're going to start to see downward pressure created soon, and people start to take profits, especially if we break back these previous highs. So I think that we are going to see the upward pressure take us past these prior highs, and as soon as we break past these prior highs, I do think that we're going to see whales start to essentially dump this price all the way down. So that's my short-term prediction for SHIB. Obviously, I could be completely fucking wrong, and it could go up to the moon. But like, at what point is enough, man? Like, you gotta look at the gains you've made. You gotta look at and you gotta be happy with them. There's always gonna be the question of, what if I just held on a little bit longer? And sometimes you just gotta let go, man. So the reason I do think that SHIB is going to pump a little bit higher from here is because I do think that Bitcoin is going to pump a little bit higher from here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here, right? I think the next couple of days where we are interacting with the prices this level are going to be very telling. Does this divergence start to back off? Do we not make a divergent high? Or do we not take out the divergences? If we start to roll over around here and the divergences stay intact, and once again, for those of you that don't know, divergences are basically that prices make higher highs with indicators making higher lows, or lower lows, sorry. So it would have to basically stop right here, and the prices would have to turn downwards. And what would that mean is that this previous high around here, right, this level, had a higher divergence than this high, which means that the downward momentum from here and the downward gain, like downward velocity from here, is going to be higher. But for what it's worth, like I told you guys in my last video, I don't think that's the case. I think these are going to be broken. I think this is going to go, you know, like all the way up here, all the way up to here, and these divergences are going to get negated, which is going to set us up for a beautiful bullish winter, essentially. So that's kind of what I'm looking towards right now. I am still in my Bitcoin trade, not looking to gain anything right now. And yeah, that was also the update for my SHIB trade. So I want to get a little bit, really quickly before I end this video, into why I am, you know, looking to see what happens with Bitcoin. And I think it's because I've started to see strong divergences between the stock market and Bitcoin, which is really, really good news. So the stock market has been going down for some time. You know, it's been going down for a couple of weeks. And Bitcoin has been pumping, which is very nice. There was a really strong correlation with Bitcoin and the stock market for some considerable amount of time there. But that has gone away, and we've definitely seen Bitcoin, you know, pumping a lot with the stock market dumping. So the reason why I'm bullish bullish Bitcoin and kind of waiting on this active trade is I think people are putting the relationship between Bitcoin and the stock market into too heavy of a context. I think they're thinking too much between causation and correlation, and they're thinking, hey, the stock market is dumping, or it's about to dump. I think that Bitcoin is going to dump as well. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Bitcoin is going to pump if the stock market dumps. Now that might be really weird, because a lot of my life I've been thinking and saying that if a strong stock market dump occurs, Bitcoin will pump. Bitcoin will dump. And now I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying if a strong stock market drop occurs, Bitcoin will pump. And this is, you know, in the reasonable range. Like, I'm talking about a 15-20% correction. I'm not talking about like a 40% drop like in COVID, where there's massive liquidations across multiple hedge funds and asset managers, and then you have to sell Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin takes a hit too. I'm just talking about any reasonable correction, you know, next 10, 11, 12%. I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin really fall. I think we're going to see Bitcoin rise. And this reverse happens as well. I think, like, if we see a strong rally in the stock market, I think that we're going to see a little bit of a consolidation in Bitcoin. Like I said, we're not going to see a huge drop, but definitely some sort of consolidation inside the stock market as well. Let's just really talk about the stock market. So this is this is QQQ, which is the NASDAQ. So I've had this beautiful trend line on the NASDAQ for some time. We've hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. This is the sixth reaction on this trend line, and I mean, look at how it just jumps and off to the races after each touch. You know, it's really bullish. This time, not as much. We did a little bump, and now we're back to dumping. I'm not in any position right now, so this is very interesting to me. You know, like, and I think I might post an update tomorrow morning, depending on where this market is. I haven't made an options trade in weeks. But I think tomorrow might be the day, because this level we're flirting with right now, oh man, is it dangerous. It's a dangerous level. Like, we should not be down here for a long time. Like, this green candle is a saving grace. Like, this is futures right now. This is the middle of the night. This is a saving grace, man. Like, we need to hold this level. If we open the market somewhere below 13, like 14.55, like this level, I'm gonna buy puts. Like, there's no way I'm just not gonna buy like a bunch of like weekly puts or something, because I think the chance we get down here and we dump is just like so high. Like, I just think this trend line is begging to get broken, and maybe I'll be an idiot because I'm shorting so close to the trend line, but I think we're just gonna go right under it. And I think this is mainly caused by inflation and rising energy costs and rising interest rates. Like man, the bond market is taking a fat shit again. This is not good for tech. If rates go down past this level, like, this is horrible for big tech, because big tech lives on low interest rates. And you can see the exact opposite with financials, which is XLF. You see financials basically, staying strong over here near the top. But it doesn't matter, because tech is the market. If tech goes down, the whole market does as well. And this is a great kind of, segue into SPY overall. I mean, SPY had a really nice clean trend line that got taken down weeks ago. And like, this is just horrible action. This is just telling people that, hey, this is downside. Downside is coming, man. This candle today, we crossed over the PPO. We crossed it over. If you cross it over at this level, this is a buy the dip opportunity. It's been a buy the dip opportunity for forever, since COVID, honestly. Even COVID was a buy the dip opportunity. COVID, you sell up here, you buy the dip down here, you're set. It's about to get negated. It's about to break back down. Oh man, it's not looking good. Like, I think the stock market is looking like absolute shite right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. It looks so bad. And I've been pretty bullish on stocks recently, but like, I am definitely bearish right now. I'm definitely bearish. I am expecting more downside. I repeat, I am expecting more downside in the next couple of weeks to months. And I'll let you guys know when those views shift. But like, this candle, especially after that down day, we got more downside. This is not good, man. This is not good. And we're getting to that level where the dip buyers are just like, uh-oh, what's going on? Dip buying isn't working anymore. Dip buying isn't working anymore. Oh man, this is disgusting. I'm just looking at it more right now. Like, this is flowing back over. It's not getting anything. Why don't we look at some moving averages? I want to see if we've really changed anything there. Oh my god, guys. Look how beautiful this is. And this is why people's like, TA sucks. Like, they're a bunch of clowns. TA works so well sometimes. This is the 50 EMA. Look at this beautiful reduction off the 50. Absolutely beautiful reduction. We're sitting on the 100. And you know what? We're about to get rejected on the 100, because right now we're under it. We get rejected by the 100? The 200 is down over here. It's at 340, bro. Wow. This is really telling. We're sitting smack on 100. If we don't hold here, definitely going to see more downside. Same thing with SPY. Right now, SPY, with futures, we're sitting right at 100. Right at 100 on futures. Right below 100. Oh, man. I'm going to buy puts tomorrow. Like, I'm pretty confident that I'm out against some puts tomorrow. Maybe I'll get shaken out. Probably have to configure some really tight stop loss. But I think once we start getting past these levels, like once we start going below 14,490, 470, I think we're just going to see a rush for the exit, and we're going to see a downward dump all the way into the the low 14,000s. So yeah, that's my take on the stock market. I think that Evergrande is more bigger than people thought. Like, China is defaulting on their bond market, like, big time. And if their credit growth gets fucked, like, that's the whole words credit growth. Like, everywhere is so deflationary right now, especially like the first world developed countries. Like the Eurozone, Japan has been deflationary forever. If China experiences like a growth scare, like, it's gonna be really bad. One other thing I was looking at, well, a couple other things. Coinbase. I'm really looking to start buying calls on Coinbase. I think for the level it's at and the price Bitcoin's at, I think it's extremely attractive. I held on today, and I held on because I am expecting a stock market little jump. So let's see where we start opening the day tomorrow. You know, if we hold strong around these levels, this is also a decent hedge against any QQQ puts I decide to take. Would be a Coinbase long. So I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking about that as well. This is pot stocks, MJ. Oh man. Oh man, that's so bad. Oh, we're on support, man. We're on support. I like this bounce. I really did. I didn't take it just because like I was busy that day, and I'm kind of glad I didn't take it because normally I would have taken this bounce off this green candle right here, because we're at support. We're at really good support. But let's open up the chart in the moving averages section here. Not the moving, the PPO and EMA stuff. It's getting ready. I think a little bit longer. These are all the Wall Street boys. These are all the Wall Street boys getting screwed over right here. All the Reddit guys just getting slammed. We're getting close. Might have to take profits real soon on SHIB. Anyway, this is turning into a longer video. These are my thoughts for today. I'll definitely going to update my put position and any options I buy for Coinbase tomorrow, if I decide to take both of those trades. And if I do, I will definitely try to update you guys by the end of the day. But thank you so much for coming to this video. Remember, don't get too greedy. If you took the SHIB trade and you haven't taken any profits, like I have, like I've taken 50% profits, please decide to take some profits. It's never too late to take some profits if you're up 300%, man. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.